So who said this quote? So this person said, in Silicon Valley, nobody's sitting around a table and going, oh, I wonder what the government's going to do to help us get this startup off the ground. You've got to do it yourself. There isn't the light brigade coming. Big Australian companies should be less risk averse and be buying products from local tech startups to help them succeed. Who said this? Which seasoned startup? Oracle, who's obviously a great entrepreneur, who obviously placed to give this kind of advice. Who was the person who gave this sage advice?
I tell you why I'm scared to guess. Because I'm going to guess, because you're going to rip the arms and legs off this advice in about 5 seconds. And I'm going to say someone that I might like. And I do not want to be wrong because I've just thrown them under the Adam bus. And so I actually thought it was a politician before you said that.
Not
but
miles
I'm going to
off.
say I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to give this person's. I'll give you this. You know how you can give little clues. Like this quizzes gives you a clue, and then gives you another clue. It's a bit like Solar
I
Century.
thought I
Who am I?
dodged this bullet. I heard
bullet's still heading in your direction.
I heard it bang and then something whizzed past my head, and I thought I dodged this
bouncing off
bullet.
the back wall.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, so he started their career at Arthur Andersen as an auditor.
Still don't know.
So, then was appointed in finance at Toyota.
Still don't
So
know.
not very entrepreneurial at this point. Then became senior vice president at Sun Microsystems.
Still don't. Is it a startup founder?
No, I like this person's giving advice on what startup founders think. So you think that would
but
be a
it's
startup
not-
founder?
Oh, I think I know.
Are they currently alive?
Yes.
Very much.
Well,
This quote was made last week.
It would be.
Okay.
It would be a tragic twist of fate if they weren't. This is. I mean, I know that's the way. What's that game where you put the stickers on your head with the names?
Charade?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that's a good question to ask in that game. But in the game where someone said to something a week ago, I feel like it might be a wasted question. I think I know who it is. Is it a female?
It may be a female.
He may be a female.
It may be a female.
Okay.
It's not
Well,
Caitlyn
you're really
Jenner.
adapting to 2026 with the he may be a female. Do you want me to say who I think it is?
Yes.
Robyn Denholm?
Yes.
Oh, God, I'm
Okay,
not happy
so-
that I said that.
So Robyn went to Sun Microsystems. While she was there, share price dropped from $2.58 to $9.50, by the way. So didn't do a great job,
not
did
her
old
fault.
Robyn. She
I'll
was CFO.
I'll play
like-
defense for Robyn, okay, which is not going to be easy.
So
in
senior
this-
vice president of finance.
It's not going to be easy in this situation, but I'll try and play defense. Okay, not her fault, Sun Microsystems. Next allegation.
Well, if she wasn't her fault, what was she being paid millions of dollars a year for?
Do the numbers. Next allegation.
COO and CFO at Juniper Networks.
That did well, that business, didn't it?
Share price was 33 when she started, sold 10 years later for 40. So I wouldn't say it's great.
Okay, well, then we can tick that box, fine.
COO and then she spent 2 years as COO and CFO at Telstra. Share price went from 366 to 338 in 2 years.
She wasn't CFO for long, right?
2 years. She was
2 years.
COO and then briefly CFO.
That's right. Till she got the tap on the shoulder
By
after
Elon's beard.
after people. I think the way I would describe her role is that she sits between investors and Elon,
Yeah.
so that he can have a professional face and interaction with investors and can do whatever he wants. I think it wouldn't be unfair to say at no point in time would she be prepared to say to Elon, "No, I'm stopping you doing."
Of course not, because she wouldn't have a job. So I don't hold
And
any
in fact,
ill
she
will for
won't
that.
even speak about Elon.
Yeah.
In any a journalist is not allowed to ask her a
She's
question
been
about
paid
Elon.
$1 billion to be Elon's deflector shield.
Well, I
essentially.
said to you, I think she might be have earned more money as an independent non-executive director than anyone else in history.
And she was also criticised by the Delaware Court of the highest corporate
I
court
know,
of
I know
law, being effectively incompetent, is what they called her.
That might have flipped. That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back for you.
No, that was one thing. But what my point here is, she's now running the chairperson of the Tech Council. Like, we've got this horrendous tax that's
She's
about
not the
to
chair.
kill
Of the,
everybody.
she's the former chair of the Tech Council.
I thought she's still the chair.
No, she handed it over to Farquhar, to Scott
Oh,
Farquhar.
so Scott Farquhar's chair. Yeah, sorry,
But
right.
what you could say is she did the review.
She's the government's innovation advisor.
Yeah, she did the review of the R&D tax incentive.
Yes.
The primary problem with the R&D
was
tax
ignored, I
incentive...
think.
Well, no, it wasn't ignored. So I'll tell you the problem with it. So the main issue that the R&D tax incentive does, and we should say what this is. So this is if you spend money on research and development... that
Mostly
fits-
technologists.
that fits certain criteria. I'll tell you what doesn't fit the criteria in a second. You'll be shocked to hear.
Yeah.
But that fits the criteria. You'll either get some money back in cash from the government.
If you're less than
20
million
mil of revenue, or you'll get tax offsets. And so it's a great system. It should be more generous. It's only paid once a year. That's the main problem
I think it's
with
an
it.
okay system, actually. I don't think it should be more generous. I think it's pretty
And
generous.
it's paid once a year, which means there's lots of very expensive
consultants make a heap of money.
Lenders.
Yeah.
No, consultants are
yeah.
right. But there's lenders charging
course.
15% a year
Yes.
to say, I'll give you money this quarter. You spend it, you'll get even more of a rebate. I'll lend you money next quarter.
Yeah.
There's a whole industry of lending money of that.
Yeah.
And so the biggest issue with the R&D tax incentive is actually it's completely unclear about whether it applies to software. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be the majority.
That's the biggest. So, who do you think the biggest? I know I've sidetracked you on your rant, but who do you think the biggest claimants of the R&D tax incentive?
Atlassian and Canva.
So Canva's not.
Canva's not.
So Atlassian, I think, might be number one.
Yeah.
Number two is a company that you will not guess, but I'll give you clues. It's not a software company. I would say it's not even a tech company. I would say they don't even make anything themselves.
It's like BHP or something like
Well,
that.
you're close. It's Fortescue.
Okay.
And I think number three might be Cochlear. And so 1 and 3 got no issue. And so there's
CSL should be up there.
I didn't look beyond
There's
that.
a lot of international operations. So maybe.
The other big area that we give money to is foreign companies conducting clinical trials in Australia.
Yeah.
We give them lots of rebates on
Yeah.
tax. And so
Which itself was pretty weird.
and so in the budget that was just passed, one of the things that people didn't pay attention to is that there were some changes to the R&D tax
Right.
incentive.
'Cause we were too distracted by all the other horrendous stuff to notice this pretty stupid thing.
And so one of the changes is that you
This
can,
was the Atlassian rort, wasn't it?
well, you can now claim $150 million of tax rebates with the R&D tax incentive, up from, I don't know, some number less than that, 100 mil, I'm
Yeah.
going to say, but I don't know. And so there are only two.
I'm sure Scott Farquhar had nothing to do with this.
Well, there's
It's
only two
lobbying for
there
the
are
Tech
only
Council.
two companies in Australia
Who are at that level.
that claim, which
Yeah.
is Atlassian and Fortescue.
Yeah.
One is, I don't think we should be paying this for Fortescue.
Of course not. It's
They're
ridiculous.
digging your minerals.
Yeah, they're
out of
stealing our
your
minerals
backyard.
and making Andrew
But-
Tui $30 billion.
And so I'm actually genuinely not casting aspersions here. I'm just going to tell you a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the coincidence. The previous chair of the Tech Council was Robyn Denholm.
Yeah.
The current chair is Scott Farquhar.
Yeah.
Robyn Denholm went to be the Government Innovation Advisor and wrote the R&D tax incentive recommendation, which said lift it to 150 mil, of which one of the two companies that benefits is Atlassian,
And
of
Robyn's
which Scott
also-
Farquhar is a founder.
And Robyn Denham's an operating partner of Blackbird, which is effectively funded by Scott Mike. So there's links everywhere here.
So we could say, I'll say what the defence is, because the reason I'm saying it's a big coincidence, not casting aspersions.
I'm sure Scott gave some
making
money
noise.
to the Labor government as well.
What I'm saying is this,
Mike
I'm not
as
sure
well.
about that at all, and I like Scott.
Well, they definitely
okay,
gave money
so
to Climate
flag
200.
that.
They gave money to Climate 200. Indirectly goes to the
but listen
funds
to-
for Teals, which got rid of Liberals. So
All right, but
indirectly,
this
all
is
ends
the-
up in Labor's pockets.
This is I know, like, I don't want to, I think you might be right, but I just want to say what the opposite case to it is, which is, it's a very small and incestuous industry, especially at the top of that industry. And so all of these people are going to know each other and have interconnected relationships. And I think it's not that I'm even saying this is what happened. I think if you're going to have these interconnected relationships and it's going to involve government and there's going to be one of two companies that benefits and it's going to be your company and you're the head of the so you should be super transparent over and above what is reasonable to show that that no one can cast any aspersions. And I think that didn't happen, and it smells fishy, and I don't think that's a good look.
Is that right?
basically.
I actually meant to talk about this a few weeks ago, but we guys got distracted by the even more appalling CGT stuff. But this is just outrageous. This is a gift to Atlassian from the Australian taxpayer because Atlassian lobbied on behalf of the Tech Council. Like, what is Scott Farquhar? Every tech company in Australia should be getting rid of these Tech Council clowns because they don't do anything for us. They've never done a single thing for us. We're a tech company, you're a tech company. When have they never spoken to us? They don't do anything. They look after the billion-dollar US-based companies.
So
Atlassian's a US company.
So if you really think about who's running the tech industry in Australia, if you think the Tech Council has that role, and I think there are other industry organisations that have been around for longer that would dispute that role, but definitely the Tech Council is very well known.
Yeah.
Predominantly we're appointing people who are not paying significant amounts of company tax in Australia. Now, Fortescue is. I just think they should be paying
that's
much
true.
more tax in Australia. But it is a weird concept. And the reason that the Tech Council has really no power relative to the Minerals Council is because the Minerals Council pays tons of tax. And so that's what gives you power, employing lots of people. So the Pharmacy Guild has lots of power because they have...
And they're very smart.
Yeah, they influence lots of people. And the AMA, right?
Yeah.
The Medical Association.
CFMEU, the classic case.
Yeah, but the problem with the Tech Council is they don't really pay much tax and they don't employ that many people. And like, we're huge advocates of the tech industry, but I think the way they're going about it is not the right way of doing it. And the other problem that happened with this R&D tax incentive is that they raised the threshold. Do you realise that? So the threshold on which you can make an R&D claim has been lifted to $250,000.
That's actually really high.
And so all of these small startups in their first 1 or 2 years of starting, they now lose access.
Yeah.
And so at the
And
top
people
end,
they should be getting it.
and so that makes me like the fact that like Fortescue is like, I don't know, basically pulling its money out off the taxpayer.
Yeah.
It annoys me, but like, we're in a country of rorts here, okay?
Yeah.
But what makes me angry is that these small startups that should be supported, they've just lost the ability to make claims.
It just shows the Labor government's so out of touch with.
It's really terrible.
With founders and younger. Just going back to
I tried to sidetrack you off.
Going back to Robyn's quote.
All right.
How is Robyn's going? Nobody's sitting around a table going, I wonder what the government's going to do to help get this startup off the ground. She's never worked in a startup in her life. She started at Tesla when it was $1 trillion business, or give or take. Who is she to be telling startup founders what they can, what should and shouldn't be thinking? She's the last person who should be advising us on what we should be thinking.
Well, so her main
shut up, Robyn. You learn your place.
Well, her main comment was.
She's a billionaire. How dare she lecture founders with no money in the bank who are living off ramen what they should and shouldn't be doing?
Well, my guess is that she must have been like a monk or something in a previous life, because she's had the smoothest path to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like there's been no blood, sweat, or tears. I mean, who makes $1 billion with no blood, sweat, and tears?
She's got $1 billion in standover money. She's stood away from investors' hard-earned money and Elon Musk making money. Essentially. That's her job. She paid $1 billion for it.
So I begrudge her no dollars of that $1 billion, to be honest with you. Like, I think there's a lot of luck involved in business of all sorts, and like she's got very lucky, and she doesn't have.
Well, if you look at her history, it's been a abhorrent history.
No,
She's destroyed value everywhere she's went. The share price has gone down. She's the Black Widow.
I totally disagree with that.
Tesla aside, but she obviously wasn't the executive there.
I totally disagree.
Well, the numbers are the numbers. I'm just telling you numbers. Juniper went
up.
Sun dropped about 97%. Juniper underperformed the market massively. Telstra significantly underperformed. That's everywhere she went. She's the angel of death.
I'll give you the
Black Widow.
I'll psychoanalyze you.
She's the ScarJo of Australian of tech companies.
This is a psychoanalysis of you. You find like very good arguments about business stuff, but then you feel very aggrieved by the individual behind them. Whereas I don't really feel aggrieved by the individual at all. Like I think there's a lot of luck. I think she's a good operator as an operator. I think she is, and I think she was in the right.
I wouldn't put her money in a company that she's an executive of.
Well, you should have put it in Tesla. She was.
Well, Tesla's just crazy over value. Doesn't mean it's a good business.
She was in the right place at the right time, and she took advantage of it. And so my issue doesn't.
Well, according to the Court of Chancery, she's terrible at her job. That's not my view. That's the most senior US corporate judge has said this.
I know that's a much better rebuttal of me than you've got. But I will say this: like there's a lot of luck involved in these things, and I'm very happy for people to have luck. My biggest issue with what she said is that she said, something along the lines of, I've never met a founder who, as you said, like I never met a founder who cared about tax when they were starting a business.
She met a founder at all, other than Scott and Mike?
She has, but my rebuttal of that would be pretty simple. The reason you've never met a founder that cares about tax is you've never tried to charge them 47% before. And like, go charge them 47%, and you just did, and now they're all talking about it. Like when you were taking, it's not her, she's not in the government, but when you were taking 23.5% of founders' gains, founders kind of, I guess, felt, well, that's a lot of the gain, but it doesn't feel unfair.
Fair,
it doesn't feel...
We've made money, let's give something back.
It doesn't feel punitive.
Yeah.
And now you're taking 47%. It does feel punitive.
Well, it is punitive.
And so now you hear founders complaining about it. And so when she says, I've never heard a founder think about tax before starting a startup, I would say, listen harder.
Yeah.
They're all complaining, and not literally all, but enough are complaining so you know it's an issue. And the ones that can create the best startups, that is internationally focused from day one global businesses, they really can go overseas. And I want to read you this from the New Zealand Minister of something. I mean, really, who cares what they're the Minister of? But did you see this comment by the New Zealand Minister for something? It's the New Zealand Finance Minister, Nicola Willis. She said, Australians looking to start or grow a business have an epic opportunity. And that opportunity is to do it in New Zealand.
Absolutely
no capital gains tax, very simple tax system, broad-based, low rate, terrible economy, getting paid in pesos.
Oh, it's not that bad.
She didn't say those things. We keep it simple. We allow you accelerated depreciation and deductibility on your capital investments, which in fairness exists in Australia in some form as well. Where the bloody hell are you? I mean, that's politicians.
Yeah.
If you're Aussie, come over.
She's right.
She's right. It's sad to say, but she's right.